Okay, I think we've all been there before, especially when it comes to diet and nutrition. Maybe we've had a busy weekend that leads to an unprepared week, which leads to a few weeks in a row of just feeling off track, less workouts, more meals out, and just not feeling like you're in a groove. And this is something that I hear people say all the time, especially at the start of the week. I just need a reset or I need to restart. And what I like to tell people when I hear people in this kind of reset, restart mindset is just, you don't need that. You just need to keep going. At the end of the day, when we can look at our goals as just as many good reps as possible, we're far less likely to let a few bad days turn into a tailspin. Just as many good reps as possible. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly which reps are going to have you feeling back on track and back in the groove and well on your way to your goals. Now, what I'm going to be giving you here in this video is nearly my exact program in my 30-day Well Fed Kickstart. Just without all of the supporting resources and recipes, you can join my 30-day Well Fed Kickstart for just $19 and you'll get everything in there to get you moving. And I've put the link in the description. Let's dig in. Okay, first, you need a calendar because things written down are just purely more likely to happen. And as a coach that's been in the game for a very long time, it's simply facts. It's true for my clients, it's true for myself. Write things down. Now, again, in my 30-day Kickstart, I've got this calendar prepared for you, but you can make this happen on your own also. So, what you want to do is be looking in front of you at a 30-day blank calendar. So, what we're going to do to get you feeling back on track and back on the groove is we are going to start small and we're going to build. Think of it as progressive overload for nutrition and exercise, all right? Because we do best when we start in a manageable range and then we continue to build. So, what we're going to be doing with this calendar is we're going to be preloading some habits for you to do the very first week. We're then going to add those to the second week, but then we're going to layer in some additional habits. We're going to do the same thing for week 3 and then the same thing for week 4. Now, I'm going to give you suggestions on what I think are good habits to get started with. And these are things that I have my members of my 30-day Well Fed Kickstart do. But you're welcome to pick any habits that you feel like are best for you right now and where you're at with things and in this season of life. Now, in week 1, we're just going to add 1 to 2 habits. That's it. Don't go too big too soon. It's a recipe for crash and burn. I promise you, we want to be smooth here. It's the fastest way. For the Kickstart, I have my participants start with something I call the Daily 4, which I go into more detail in my program, but it's truly just 3 square meals prepared at home and a high protein snack. In addition to that, they get 1 walk a day, preferably right after a meal. I don't have time in this video to go over all of the details of what's included in an ideal Daily 4. I could make a separate video on that, and I think I will. It's all outlined very, very well in my Kickstart program. But essentially what the Daily 4 is in that we're making sure that each of those meals has a solid dose of protein. Okay, solid. More than you think you need is a good place to get started. We're then going to make sure we have some items on our plate for energy, aka carbohydrates. You need to have those on there. And we're going to make sure we have some fruits and vegetables. That's going to be this ideal Daily 4 plate. We're going to do that for breakfast, we're going to do it for lunch, and we're going to do it for dinner. We're then going to make sure we also have 1 really high protein snack in the day. Now, is that going to be the perfect prescription for everybody? No, we all have very different bodies and needs, but it's going to be a great baseline for nearly everyone to get started and to have you feeling back on track, feeling good, and in a groove. Again, if you want to learn more about this, check out the 30-day Kickstart. It's all in there, lined out for you, including over 300 recipes that are really structured in this Daily 4 prescription, this plate method. It's there for you. The work is done. Now, in week 2, we're going to do something special. We're going to continue to execute on our habits of week 1. Hopefully, they're feeling a little bit easier now. We're going to do our Daily 4. We're going to get our walk in, preferably a post meal walk I have a great video out there. I'll link it below on why post-meal movement is so powerful. And then what we're going to do in week 2 is we're going to add one more habit. And you can pick what that is, whatever you think is most valuable for you in your life and your goals. Now, what I do in my 30-day kickstart is I have the clients add in something called the 500. And what that is essentially is that they're going to consume by weight, okay, not grams, but by weight, 300 grams of fruits and vegetables. Okay, so now we're really making sure that we're adding in a lot of great fiber, a lot of real whole foods, and some colorful foods to our diet. And that's it. Now in week 3, we're going to do the same thing. In my program, what I like to do in week 3 is start to layer in a little bit more movement. We're already eating 3 solid meals plus a high protein snack. We've got tons of fruits and vegetables. And now we're adding in a little bit more exercise to our week. We do the same thing in week 4, but I'll also have people add in some mindfulness practice around the foods that we're consuming. The beautiful thing is with this method, by starting small and slowly building in more and more reps, you're doing it at a pace that is sustainable. Like you can keep doing this because you're not starting on day 1 of adding a bunch of things into your life that you magically expect to fit when none of them were fitting before. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Now, I know nobody really wants to hear this, but what's going to happen is it's not going to feel slow because a month's going to go by and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, holy shit, look at everything that I've accomplished. And really, truly, you will feel that way. Now, whether you use the habits that I suggest in my 30-day Well Fed Kickstart or you come up with your own, the key is start small and keep building. You can add whatever you want in there that feels best and most pertinent for you and where you're at in this journey. If all of this is sounding really good to you, but you're just not quite sure if you can get it organized or where you should start, really truly check out my 30-day Well Fed Kickstart. All of the resources are done for you. They're ready to go. I have your calendar filled out for you that you can be crossing things off each day. There's a recipe library. You also get daily emails from me that I check and I respond to. It's not an AI bot, it's an actual me. If you can't tell, I enjoy doing this type of thing. I am a coach. I have one-on-one clients, but also I just really like to talk about this stuff. I like to educate. I consider myself a teacher. I truly believe that everybody can understand the same things that I do about food. And that's a really empowering position. And I would love for you to feel that way too. Like, subscribe, follow along, check out my other videos. I truly do love talking about this stuff, and I would love to see you around. Thanks for being here.